Crystal.
Hello, how are you?
Excellent. Crystal's going to be one of 53 authors at the
Oh, wow.
festival. Yes, at the
Hmm.
Festival of Books and Creativity at the end of June in Novi, Michigan.
Yay.
Yes, there's so many. 46 genres and 280 book titles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's talk about your books, though. So
Hmm.
you've got about
Okay.
8 books. Share
I
those with
do.
us.
I have with me today. I don't have my holiday books because it's not holiday time and they're all out. But this one is my first one. Blindsided by a Miami Boss's Love. And
Oh,
then I have it's actually not even a sequel to it, but it's more of a spinoff.
okay.
So they could be read independently if you choose to, but these characters were first introduced in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this one, A Young Millionaire's Weakness. This one's kind of special because that's my baby sister. That's my fingers are not working. My baby sister posed for the cover. Um,
Awesome.
and then this is my first solo book. The ones I just showed you, I have a co-author on all of those. But
Oh,
this is my
nice.
first solo book that came out last year. And this also is my newest solo book. This one just came out a couple weeks ago.
Oh, brand
So kind of excited
new.
about that one. Yes. And then this is my last release with the co-author, Bossy Millionaire's Obsession. This one came
Nice.
out in September of last year.
Very nice. And then
So
you
those are
also
mine.
and you also have some Christmas books. Will you have those available at the event?
Possibly depending on how my printer, if I can get them. But I do
Okay.
have two holiday books. They are very, unlike these, they are very clean. They are very they are very Christmassy.
Okay.
I do one clean book a year. I call it the clean book. Very hallmarky.
Oh,
It
of course.
yeah, it's a little different for me, but I do one a year with a co-author, and him and I we it takes us about 6 months to do that book. We put a lot into it. I love holidays. I love Christmas. So yeah, those I am super proud of. Very different from my other writing, but I love them all.
So those books though that you did show us,
Mhm.
what genre do they fit into? They look kind of steamy.
They are all steamy. I do romance and what
Mhm.
considered erotic romance.
Okay.
And then it just so happens this last one I was told was strict erotica. It was like straight erotica, apparently. So
Oh,
I teeter on the line of erotic romance.
so definitely way different than the Christmas one.
Way different. The Christmas, I mean, you maybe some hand holding, some super cozy hugs. It's
Mhm.
about what you're going to get in that, but I keep it that way on purpose, right? Because I
Mhm.
kind of keep it more traditional.
So what got you started writing both the
So
steamy and the clean romance?
about 2 years ago, I actually started off as like a helper to writers, and I was an
Mhm.
editor. And who's actually my co-author, our Coxton, he was like, I like what you have to put in the notes. I like what you're saying. You should write a book. I was like, nah, I don't write books. And so he kept pushing and pushing, and then he sent me a half a story for this one. And he was
Okay.
like, I'm going to send you a half finished story. You do what you want with it. See if you finish it. And I did. And that's how that's pretty much how we co-author all of our books. We don't back and forth. He usually starts them, and then I go back, add some details of mine as I'm reading it, and then I
Mhm.
finish the book.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and the Christmas ones, I just love Christmas. I love holidays, and it was almost like a challenge the first year we did it. I was like, let's see if we could, pull some steam out and keep it. I mean, it's like they are truly one of the Christmas stories where there's an issue and you have to solve the problem all before Christmas, kind of thing. So they
Mhm.
are very, very much a traditional Christmas story.
That is awesome. So
Mhm.
you started out as an editor. Is that your full-time job?
It is not. It is not. I was a helper to a lot of independent authors.
Okay.
And so yeah, and I was doing some editing, some beta reading, things of that nature, flyer making, just truly just kind of helping independent authors.
Mhm.
And then it just morphed into somehow or another we morphed it into 8 books. It just keeps growing.
So
Yeah.
what is your regular job then? Do you have one?
I actually do have a job that pays the bills. I work. I work for Michigan Medicine. I work for University of Michigan in pathology. I'm
Oh,
an
wow.
account manager. Something
Okay.
totally different. Has
I
nothing
was
to do with the
gonna
book world
say
at all.
they
No,
they
this is a great escape. Like the writing, it just you kind of just takes your mind away from the world,
Mhm.
and you kind of live in these books while you're writing them, and these characters, they become like your people, your friends, your family. You love them, you hate them, some of them you want to choke. Like seriously, they become like your people. Yeah, there's a few that needed some choking, but yeah, absolutely.
So what is on the horizon for you then?
I would like to do I want to do a paranormal at some point. I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Ooh.
I know, right? I love them. I love sci-fi. I that is, I'm hoping maybe by the end of the year. I kind of got a little storyline in my head, but
Mhm.
so my writing style is a little different. I actually probably have 5 stories that I currently
Ooh.
have in the mix, but it just depends on what's going on. You'll get ideas, or the story one will be going, and then you'll like hit a brick wall, and I'll be like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna step a little back, and then I'll pick this one up. So probably in the next couple months, though, I'll have probably 2 releases.
Ooh. So that'll be before the June event.
I'm hoping.
Ooh.
I'm
In
hoping
in
at
what
least
gen
one, at least one,
in
at
what
least one.
genre are we gonna be in?
Those will probably be. It's gonna be romance. It's probably gonna be spicy romance.
Okay.
Absolutely, it will not be the paranormal. The paranormal, I'm gonna take my time with. It's gonna take me a while, especially with the first one, because
Mhm.
I love paranormal so much. I want to make sure I do it justice. I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure that it's what I want it to be. It takes me a while to write. Like I go over my books a lot of times.
Well, that's good.
I do.
Do you use an outline or do you just pants it and just
I tried the outline, it didn't work for me. But I will say this, sometimes I will do the beginning, have some middle, and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the end. And then I have to go back and put things that got me to the end. So
Ah, okay.
sometimes that happens too. It just depends on where I'm going. But a lot of sticky notes, a lot of,
That's always a good thing though.
hmm
So do you have any events coming up between now and the end of June?
I do. I do. I'm March 29th. I'll be in South Carolina. And then I have yours in June. And then I also have another one after June. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be in Michigan. August.
All over the place.
I try, and I do try to do them where I have family.
Mhm.
So I kind of double them up. Like the South Carolina one, my sister just moved there. So I'm gonna go visit her, do a book event.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
It's
Yeah.
always fun to travel though and do
I love to
events.
travel. I love to travel.
Where's your favorite place to travel?
The ocean. I love
Oh,
cruising. I probably cruise twice a year.
okay.
hmm And then lately I've been doing the book events, trying to go places where I've never been, so that I can kind of see
Ah.
that and see how that works. I was just in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I
Oh,
had
wow.
not ever been to Tulsa. Very, very unique place. We had an amazing time. I was there with the book event. A friend of mine, a writing friend of mine, she and I went, and we had an amazing time. Yeah.
So do you when you do your events, how far out are you booking events? Are you doing them just as they come or are you trying to get like planned for 26 or
I do have one planned for 2026 already. They announced it, and it just so happened to be the same weekend as my birthday, and it's in
Oh,
Vegas. So I was like,
oh,
that's a no brainer to go to
yeah.
Vegas for my birthday and do a book event. So that's the only one I have planned so far for 2026. I just kind of, if they come up and I'd be like, oh, that'll be nice. That'll be kind of interesting. And then if it's in my schedule, I just book them as I see them. But yeah, I just have one for 2026 so far.
So where do you like to write? Where do you get that inspiration to write?
So I I would say a piece of me is in each one of these books.
Mhm.
Some of it has more of me than others. But yeah, I or things I may see, current events, and where I write. I like to write at restaurants and malls. You know,
Mhm.
you'll see a person and you'll give them a whole scenario as to why they're there. And next thing you know, it's in a book. And it's probably totally different than what they're shopping for or what they're doing. But in my mind, this is what's happening. And now they're in a book and they have no idea.
The disclaimer in the beginning.
I do tell people that when I meet them, I'd be like, I do write books, and things you may say and or do may sometimes vaguely find its way. And it's kind of hard not to if you hear something or a saying that someone says all the time. It's very hard to shut it off. Like you can't really shut it off.
You
Hmm.
may be put in a book.
You may be some some unsuspecting likeness.
That's why the disclaimer at the beginning of the book
Hmm. Yes.
may or
Yeah.
may not be about you.
May or may not, vaguely, or 17 people mashed together to make one character.
Yeah.
You do a lot of mashing, for sure.
So are your characters based on anybody in particular, or is it a mashup?
They are totally, I mean, like a snippet of a personality, possibly.
Mhm.
But then it's like totally far fetched from the actual person.
Mm.
But most of them are just made up. They are very much made up. Yeah.
That's the great part about fiction is that you can just
Oh yeah.
you make it up.
Yeah, and it won't matter because it's supposed to be made up. So yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I was just reading your bio. Lover
Mhm.
of love.
I do. I'm a hopeless romantic. Hence
Ah.
why I write all these romance books.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of the gentlemen in these books, I mean, no one could possibly live up to these expectations that we, outline in these books. But I mean, one can dream, right? It's made up.
Mhm.
So, the men are who they are. The men are very strong in these books. The women are all very strong women, actually. Now that I think about it, they really are. They're very opinionated, very strong, but they allow to be loved. Hmm.
Allowed to be loved.
They do.
That is
They allow for the chance to love. I believe in happily ever afters. All of these books have a happily ever after, whether it's the traditional sense and the guy gets the girl, or it's a happily ever after where it's self love and you recognize yourself.
mm,
Hmm. Hmm.
I like that. So it's not necessarily the guy getting the girl.
Not all the time, or the girl getting the guy. Not all the time. I do have one book in particular that, yeah, that did not happen, but he's better for it. She wasn't right for him, and he realized that he was the prize, and he had to, love himself even more.
That's awesome. I like that.
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
different twist on the happily ever after.
Yeah, I mean, it's who because no one can define a happily ever after. You have to define it yourself, and it doesn't always mean you have to end up with a person. You just be happy with yourself. That's your
That
happily ever after.
that is so cool.
Thank
I
you.
like that.
We try.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to meeting you in person in
Right.
June.
I
That'll
am
be
super
so much fun.
excited. Now that I
Wh-
know 53 authors, holy smokes.
Yes.
I did not realize it would be that many. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. There's And we've got 5 vendors that are book centric, so they had to
Okay.
be book focused on what they were selling,
Mhm. Mhm.
not necessarily books. So, yeah, we've got 46 genres, 280 titles. That just like it
Wow.
yeah, people are gonna need to bring their wagons so that they can load up on books.
Yay.
And we're right in the middle of what I consider an outdoor food court
Okay.
because we've got Hub Stadium, which has really good food. Um, we
Mm.
have Bar Louie, Ford's Garage,
Okay.
Buffalo Wild Wings, Buddy's Pizza, not too
Mhm.
far. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of goodness. So, you're going to have
There
food,
is. They
you're going
have
to have.
really beefed up that area. It is
Mm-hmm.
super nice over there. I was just over there not too long ago. Me and my daughter were at Korean barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
That's right. That's right around the corner.
yeah, yeah, we were over there, and I was just looking around, going, "Man, this is really, has really beefed itself up.
Mm-hmm.
Nice area.
So there's gonna be plenty of parking.
Oh yeah,
So
plenty of
lots of
parking, plenty to
parking.
do. Come see
Yep.
some authors,
Grab a few books or
grab some books.
more, bring the wagon. We're gonna
Yeah,
have plenty for everybody. So I'm so looking forward to that and seeing you in person. Thank you
absolutely.
for taking this time out of your day to share with
Oh,
us.
no problem. I like it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and I'll see you in June.
All righty. Thank you.